Are you right there, guys? Yeah, it's me, Ross, back with another car pack review. This week we have the November car pack for Forza Horizon, and I will be coming back to these car packs. I do enjoy doing them. Today we have with us is the 240 SX. It's the SE version, SE model, produced by Nissan in 1993. There's the car spinning around for you now. It's a gorgeous looking car. It's powered by a 2.4 litre 4-cylinder engine, producing 155 horsepower and 217.1 newton meters of torque. I don't know why the point 1 was necessary, but there we go. This car has been an icon in the Japanese car enthusiast sort of market for quite some time now, simply because it was easy to maintain, lovely and easy to swap out engines. You could put anything you wanted in there, say, an LS1 engine out of a Corvette or Skyline engines as such. The interior of the car is quite bland because, well, it is a classic Japanese car. They were more focused on the performance and handling of the car back then, and interior kind of suffered for that in the meantime. But the dials are all clear and nice to read. It's very clear and precise, so you can use it every day. It is a daily driver. This car was quite fun to drive back in 1993, but it has not aged well with the engine it has in it. It seems very lackluster. It seems very slow to get off the mark. Maybe that's because of the feel in this game. I haven't actually driven one in real life, sort of get some feedback. But it seems like my 1.1 Fiesta accelerates faster than this. I know that's a bold claim to make, but it does seem like it. It kind of feels that sort of same delay to it. But as you can see, speed bumps are not a problem for this car. It's, back on standard springs. There's no scraping involved. Unfortunately, people that had this car did tend to modify it quite ridiculously and, put aftermarket parts onto it, swap the engines, different wheels, lower it, all that sort of thing, which kind of came with the car itself. It was very accessible and easy to modify, and definitely a car to look out for, and I can imagine seeing some definite changes to the way people design cars nowadays with this in mind. People are still very into this sort of style of car, sort of like retro rear-wheel drive thing, as the Toyota GT96, the boxer engine thing, that came out, and it's sort of bringing back the rear-wheel drive cheap fun of it, and hopefully we'll see more for that to come. Right, let's move on to our next car now. I definitely recommend this car. It's definitely fun. I do recommend more power because it makes videos a little bit easier when you add more power. Unfortunately, I forgot to do that, but still an exciting car nonetheless. It's a great car and a great addition to the game. Let's move on to our next car, shall we? Right, guys, this is our next car. It's the 2012 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. Rubicon being the off-road dedicated package for this car. It's powered by a 280 horsepower, 353 newton meters of torque, the 3.6 litre V6. It's the Pentastar V6, the newer one that's come out for this car. It's a pretty funky looking Jeep. I do like the look of it. I do like it in Lambo green as well. The Lambo green does help. It definitely sounds quite nice. That nice rumbly V6 for you. It revs forever, or it seems to take forever anyway in this car. It's got a lousy automatic gearbox, but we'll gloss over that. We'll use a manual for this one. It's probably better off using an automatic gearbox for this sort of car anyway, because, well, if you're going to buy one, you're not really going to take it off-road, and, well, it's not really going to be, that useful in manual unless you want to keep burning clutches out. It's a good car. It moves relatively quickly. I mean, it is a Jeep, so it's not the most fantastic car in the world. It does what it's good at very well. It's definitely one of my favourite sort of off-roaders in this game. This and the SVT Raptor. The interior is very off-road heavy, very heavy duty, all that sort of stuff. But this car really was put in this game for one sort of reason, and that was to go off-road. Unfortunately, there is no real off-road tracks in this game. I mean, there's the golf course, which we're heading to now, but that's not really an off-road course, that is a golf course, so we're going to have to ingeniously come up with a sort of route for this. We'll go on the outside of the car, and off-road courses are meant to be taken slowly, carefully and precisely. It's all about control and keeping stability and keeping constant movement as well, which is what we end up doing, treating it like a proper off-road course. Not a very particularly difficult off-road course, but an off-road course nonetheless, because this game doesn't really have one. It perks up very well on an off-road course. I mean, it's got lots of low-range torque, which is what you want. It doesn't tend to spin the wheels as much, so you've got plenty of traction where you need it. It seems quite bassy and very torquey. Good for off-roading. I would definitely recommend it for off-roading if you ever plan on doing it. I do tend to get a bit bored of this though, and it's not really interesting to watch. So what I tend to do is just play about with it, start getting some jumps into it, you know, getting a few more interesting lines through these golf courses, through the sand traps. Not doing much trapping, are you now, lads? Not with this car anyway. Fully independent suspension, and the Rubicon package also offers off-road specialities like flip-up windscreen, removable doors, all that sort of stuff. But this is my idea of a proper off-road course. I'll see you in a second. Right, this is my idea of finishing off this Jeep. I mean, I like it, the gearbox is okay, the engine pulls nicely. It's just that, you know, you can mess about with this game quite a bit, and I like this speed jump that I'm about to hit. This is my idea of off-roading Forza Horizon style, because, you know, there's no real consequence, there's no, you know, payments to pay or anything. So, yeah, let's treat this like a proper off-roading session. I'm running on board with it now. So, let's see what happens. About 120 miles an hour right now. Right, okay, here we go. Well, okay, land. Yes! Fuck yeah! Yes! Rolling! This is Forza Horizon, not, you know, any other game. Like, woo, America. Yeah! Right, see you in the next car, guys. Right, here's our next car, guys. It's the 1965 Shelby Cobra 427 SE. It's powered by a 7-litre, 425 horsepower, 678.5 Newton meters of torque V8 engine, and it's just a gorgeous sounding and looking car. It's one of the most iconic cars that I remember from my childhood, watching documentaries and stuff on the TV. This car really stuck out for me. We used to like escorts and like Fiestas and stuff like that, and then here comes Carroll Shelby with a 7-litre V8 Cobra to blow your socks away. It's a gorgeous car. This is kind of a tribute to him as well. I mean, well, not really a tribute, I could never do the man justice, but Carroll Shelby sadly passed away last year or earlier on this year, and you know, I'd like to pay my respects to him because he was a great man. He rescued AC Cobra, or the AC company, with this Cobra, bringing it from, you know, where it was stuck in its rut to where it is now and today. It's such a gorgeous looking car, gorgeous sounding car with that 7-litre engine matched perfectly to a 4-speed gearbox, a manual gearbox. Carroll Shelby knew how to design and build cars. He was always the test driver, even right up to the very latest Mustangs he tested. He got to drive in, and he always approved them and disapproved them, you know, to his liking. Enough about the man himself. I could never do him justice. He is a really great man, and may he rest in peace wherever he is, building and designing cars, still carrying on, and well on to wherever he may be. This car is unbelievably quick in this game. It's a 4-speed box mated to a 7-litre V8. Of course, it's going to go quickly. And of course, you know, Japanese cars trying to take this down, not going to happen. This car lives. Thank you, Forza Horizon, for not building in huge, humongous crashes where your car sits there as a broken shell. But this car, very iconic car. It was made famous in Cannonball Run, I guess, but that was the Dax Cobra. That was a kit car version, but it always had that same sort of look to it, the same sort of aggressive look, and that same 60s look as well. Swooping curves. I always like the interior of this car as well. Very simple, very basic, built for racing and driving. All the proper dials are there, all very clear and precise. And just the sound of it, and the fact that this has no roof just enhances that even more, especially when you go through tunnels. You can endlessly slide this car. I could never really do this car any justice because it is that good of a car. I've never praised an American car more than this car. Simply for the fact of nostalgia, and simply for the fact that it is such a brilliant car. Why can't America go back to the ways that they used to be, with massive great V8s and fantastic sort of roll to them, and that classic shape as well. Everything's nice and new and rounded, and I don't like it that much. But the 60s and 70s and 80s, that's where all the good cars were. I do tend to ramble on a bit, and well, this is one of the cars that I can't simply not ramble on enough about, but I have to admit it probably will get a bit tiring for you. Definitely worth getting for this car, or its brother, or its great grandson of a car that we'll be previewing next, and Carol Shelby would be proud of this car too. So let's move on to our next car, shall we?